My name is Ruben Khodzhayev, and I'm a third-year architecture student at New York Institute of Technology. I'd like to show you one of my projects. Every year, MoMA PS1, which is a museum located in Long Island City, Queens, holds a competition for young architects. The purpose of the project is to create a temporary installation which will be housed in their regularly shaped courtyard. The installation is meant to provide relief from the summer elements, and it's meant to be a staging ground for a series of concerts which would be held in the courtyard. So, to begin the process, we went on a site visit, and when you go there, you see right across the street there's a lot of graffiti on the buildings across the way. So the premise that I came up with was to try to bring some of the graffiti from across the street over to MoMA and to invite the community to come across the street and to share what they think is art. So my approach was to create a modular framework of lightweight recycled paper material pieces, and these pieces slot together so it should be relatively fast and easy to construct and lightweight, so it's going to cut down on the cost of bringing the materials in. So this framework forms a square rectangular grid across the entirety of the project, and each person that enters the exhibit is invited to buy a canvas and some paints and to create their own piece of artwork, which they will then submit to MoMA to be posted up onto the walls. And assuming that they approve, then each of these slots will be able to house a piece of art drawn by the patrons and proudly displayed on the walls. The design itself was inspired directly by Mies van der Rohe's Barcelona Pavilion. So if you look at the plan view and you look at the planes that appear here, all the planes appear in the same spots, and the primary water, the two ponds, occur in the same spots as where Mies van der Rohe has the ponds in his Barcelona Pavilion. I learned a lot throughout the course of this project. I developed a lot of different skills. Besides designing with this modular framework, the slotting, I practiced a lot of hand drawing skills. I did computer drawing in AutoCAD and also 3D drawing in Rhino, and I used those skills to bring this design to completion. And those skills that I used throughout the course of the project, I'm going to carry along through the rest of my career, for sure. I learned a lot. Ultimately, the project was pretty well received. The idea behind the graffiti was something a little bit controversial, because basically there is some dispute in the art community whether or not graffiti constitutes an actual art form. So approaching controversial issues is something that is it's beneficial. It's always interesting to explore and to create conversation as to these as to the conflict that exists, and the tension is pretty palpable when you visit the site, because MoMA, generally speaking, will not display graffiti, but across the street it's everywhere, and people are proud of it and people love it. So to bring those people into the courtyard to have a beer, to hang out and listen to some music and talk about what they think is art and what MoMA thinks is art, this is something that is positive for everyone. And I think overall it would be a very interesting draw. And to those architecturally minded few, they'd be very interested to come and see the Barcelona Pavilion-inspired form and the modular framework. But ultimately, I think anyone could enjoy it, and I would think that during the actual concerts that would be held here, it would be a very interesting environment where you would have a lot of perforated vision, like interesting little glimpses through empty spots in the wooden framework. And there's always going to be colorful and interesting art for you to look at, which would theoretically could change daily, assuming enough people came, then it could be cycled, and you could take down the old art from yesterday and put up the new art today. Well, thanks for listening, and if you're interested and find out more, please come and take a look at my website, which I will link in the comments section. Thank you.